My name is Ain Shafika binti Ahmad Tajuddin.
My name is Ali Reza Husaini bin Badarul.
My name is Fateh Natasha binti Hussein.
My name is Nur Azliana binti Nur Azri.
Munchy is a famous biscuit manufacturer based in Malaysia. It is a private limited company that started in 1991 in Batu Pahat, Johor. It was founded by the Tan brothers, Tan Su Kok and Tan Lee Kok. Some of Munchy's famous products are top-selling Lexus sandwich biscuits, oat crunch oat cookies, and music wafers. As of today, Munchy is still one of the best biscuit manufacturers in Malaysia. The production possibility curve (PPC) is an illustration of the concept of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. PPC shows the various possible combination of goods and services that can be produced with the existing resources and the current level of technology. The PPC that is represented is in linear shape because of its constant opportunity cost. It indicates that as more units of Lexus have to be produced, a constant amount of oat crunch will have to be sacrificed. The PPC represents the scarcity, choices, and opportunity cost of Munchy's Lexus and oat crunch. Point X, which is located outside the PPC, is unattainable due to scarcity, as Munchy's does not have enough resources to produce more biscuits, while point Y, which is located inside the PPC, is attainable but inefficient because it will waste a lot of resources. Any point along the PPC, such as point A, B, C, D, E, and F, is a choice, but point A and point F cannot be chosen as they are supposed to produce two goods at the same time. The opportunity cost of this production is the movement from one point to another, like from point A to point B. Point X is located outside of the PPC, meaning that it is unattainable due to scarcity. However, a raise in the operational budget like wages and utilities can increase the production of Munchy's Lexus and oat crunch. Besides, an improvement in the level of technology could also influence the PPC, such as an upgrade of factory machinery or the introduction of robotics into the industry. These factors will shift the PPC outwards as the resources needed are enough, making point X attainable.
From the table, we can see that when the price of Munchy's Lexus increases from RM4.50 to RM5, the quantity demanded for Munchy's Lexus falls from 10,000 units to 8,000 units. But if the price of Munchy's Lexus decreases from RM5.50 to RM5, the quantity demanded for Munchy's Lexus will increase. The graph shows if the price of Munchy's Lexus increases from RM5.50 to RM6 due to the rising prices of imported flour. The quantity demanded will fall from 6,000 units to 4,000 units. If the price of Munchy's Lexus decreases from RM5.50 to RM5, then the quantity demanded for Munchy's Lexus will increase from 6,000 units to 8,000 units. Non-price factor. Consumer preferences. The consumer preference or taste are impacted by the kinds of advertisements or information they get, changes in fashion trends, the season, and the other factors. Demand will shift as a result of changing tastes. For example, when Munchy's makes more interesting advertisements than Julie, the consumer will become interested and will change their cookie preference from Julie to Munchy's. This will lead to the rising demand of Munchy's and the consumer will demand more of Munchy's products. Socio-economic conditions. People's future employment and income are unclear during hard economic times. They will often earn less money and spend less. Therefore, less product would be needed. For example, Munchy's product is cheaper than Julie's product. We can conclude, during the economic crisis, people tend to buy Munchy's product more than Julie product. Table shows that when the price of Munchy Lexus increases from RM5 to RM6, the quantity supplied for Munchy's Lexus also increases from 4,000 units to 8,000 units. When the price of Munchy's Lexus decreases from Rm5.50 to Rm4.50, the quantity supply also decreases from 6,000 units to 2,000 units. Based on the graph, the change in quantity supplied is shown by a movement along the same supply curve. If the price of Munchy Lexus increases from RM6 to RM6.50, the quantity supplied also increases from 8,000 units to 10,000 units. If price decreases from RM6 to RM5.50, the quantity supplied will decrease from 8,000 to 6,000 units. Non-price factors for supply curve. Level of technology. Higher technological levels make it possible to produce goods with less resources, which bring down manufacturing costs. For example, if Munchies had advanced technology like machinery, they can produce several of their products more quickly, saving time, while maintaining the same level of quantity and taste. Numbers of suppliers. Munchy's company may create more outputs if there are more suppliers. Supply will rise, moving the supply curve to the right as a result.
Elasticity measures how sensitive one variable is to changes in another variable. Most frequently, the change in the amount demanded in relation to changes in other factors, such as price. Price elasticity in business and economics refers to how much people, consumers, or producers alter their demand or the quantity supplied in relation to changes in price or income. It is primarily used to evaluate how a change in Munchy's Lexus cookies will affect consumer demand. Firstly, when the price of Munchy's Lexus increased from RM4.50 to RM5.50 is inelastic. A change in the price of the Munchy's Lexus causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. The percentage changes is price P1 increase to P2 is larger than the percentage changes in quantity demanded. Q1 decrease to Q2. Price elasticity along the demand curve is not very responsive. Second is price elasticity of supply when the price increase from RM4.50 to RM6 is elastic. A change in the price of the Munchy's Lexus causes a bigger percentage change in the quantity supplied. The percentage change in price P1 increase to P2 is smaller than the percentage changes in quantity supplied. Q1 increases to Q2. Thirdly is income elasticity of demand when the income increase from 1,200 to 2,800 is inelastic income. A change in the consumer's income causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. An increase in income from Y1 to Y2 leads to an increase in the quantity demanded from quantity demanded 1 to quantity demanded 2, but the increase in the demand is less than the increase in income.
When the quantity demanded and quantity supplied are achieved, this is what we call market equilibrium. The equilibrium price and quantity are achieved when the demand curve intersects with the supply curve. The equilibrium price for Munchy's Lexus is RM5.50 and the equilibrium quantity is 6,000 units. This is the stability point when the market equilibrium are achieved, and that means no tendency for price and quantity to change on the product. At this rate, both buyers and sellers are willing to buy and sell the biscuits in the market. Shortage happens when the quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. The problem occurs when the price is situated below the equilibrium price. Based on figure, when the price at RM5, the quantity demanded is 8,000 units while the quantity supplied is 4,000 units. Hence, there is a shortage of 4,000 units. Since the price is not in the equilibrium price, specifically, there will be an upward pressure for the price of Munchy's Lexus to increase toward the equilibrium price. Occurs when the price is situated above the equilibrium price. According to the figure, when the price is at RM6, the quantity demanded is 4,000 units and the quantity supplied is 8,000 units. So, it causes a surplus of 4,000 units. When the price is located above the equilibrium price, there will be a downward pressure for the price of Munchy's Lexus to reduce towards the equilibrium price. Price ceiling or maximum price is a legal price that's set by the government which is below the equilibrium price to avoid producers from raising higher prices. Based on this figure, the maximum price is set below the equilibrium price. Hence, the seller must obey the legal price set by the government. To conclude, the seller must sell biscuits at Rm5 ringgit and not Rm5 ringgit and 50 cents. Since the maximum price is below the market price, it caused an excess demand or shortage of 4,000 units of biscuits due to the maximum price because the quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. The price floor or minimum price fixed by the government is to prevent prices from falling below the legal minimum level. The price must be above the equilibrium price. It is set to protect the producers from the uncertainty of production when the prices are too low in the free market. According to this figure, the minimum price is set above the equilibrium price. Hence, the seller must obey the legal price set by the government. The sellers must sell the biscuits at Rm6 ringgit and cannot be sold lower than Rm5 ringgit and 50 cents. There will be a surplus of 4,000 units of biscuits because the quantity surplus is greater than quantity demanded. The conclusion is, in order to produce both goods at the same time, an amount of odd crunch production rate has to be sacrificed in order to produce Lexus, which is called as the opportunity cost. Demand and supply are the most significant component of an economy. Elasticity is a demand or supply curve relative responsiveness to any of its variables and determinants. Market equilibrium occurs when the amount of supply and quantity required are equal, and there is no tendency for either quantity or price to rise or fall. There are also government intervention in market equilibrium, such as price ceiling, also known as maximum price, and the next one is price floor, is a legally required minimum price set by the government.